A DNA 125 compression test. I want to keep a couple of things in mind for this test. First of all, it's a right pain to get the spark plug in, so I may not have a perfect seal. So there may be a very slight air leak. I'm not too worried about that. Throttle must be wide open when doing the test. And the other thing to account for is, well, I mean nothing. That's kind of it really. We're looking at 130 and above, I think, to be able to say this engine's okay. I have a feeling it won't be. I have a feeling it will be lower. Battery might be a touch low. That would make a difference. Wide open throttle. How can I get it so wrong? That's a very good compression test, guys. It's 160, isn't it? I'm not too worried about a slow drop now, because like I said, it's hard to get it in. So I doubt it's sealed correctly. But 160 is nothing to worry about at all. What am I missing? What am I missing? Let me check to see if fuel is getting up into the carb. So there's two ways to check for fuel flow. Put some suction on the suction pipes with your mouth, suck through the suction pipes, see it flow, or turn it over and see it flow. So let's crank it. I mean, I know it's unleaded, I put it in myself. What's left? Do you know what is left? And it's bloody frustrating. You know what it could be? It's got compression, it's got spark, it's got fuel. It won't run on a spray. It's got to be valves. It's got to be valves. They've got to be out. It's not easy to do it on this bike, but it does have to be done. Valves are out, I think, is my guess. I can't think of anything else. If it had slipped a tooth on, if it had slipped a tooth or something on its timing, then of course it wouldn't work. But there's no way it slipped a tooth. It's almost impossible, because you'd know. So I think the valves are probably out of adjustment. I'm going to Google it and see if there's some sort of sneaky trick, but there isn't. I mean, the fuel tank's here. The head's up in here. Engine mounts are all down here. Rear shocks there. I'm trying to think if there would be if there's a trick. I bet I'll have a look online. I bet people have tried certain things, but yeah, at this stage, checking the head, checking the valves isn't easy at all. So something just isn't sitting right with me at this stage. I think the brake cleaner is just too neat. WD's not the best. So what better than some links? And also the engine will then have 72-hour anti-sweat protection, which is good for it. So I'm going to try one more time with this. I know for a fact that engines would start on this stuff, because I've done it many times, and they're the best smelling engines out there. If it doesn't start genuinely, it's valves in my head. I can't think of anything else. It's got compression, so it's valves in my head. Right, so I'll throw it on the camera. Why not? Well, you're probably not going to see anything. Alright, let's see. Also, the bike's likely to get a girlfriend. Wow. That was pretty definitive in some ways. So it's got compression, it's got spark, it's got fuel. Let me get online, let me see what they say about valves. So not one video online of how to get to the valves on this. Loads of videos from some idiot called the Motorcycle Rescuer, who's done everything on these bikes on camera but the valves. Not helpful at all. I can't be arsed. Let me have a good look around this thing. See if I can resolve the problem. I mean, this side's clearer, but the engine kind of tilts slightly to that side, which sticks it more into the frame. Do I get more clearance off the stand? I'll check that first, because I can always lean it up against the wall. Let's have a look. Yeah, so there's no way of doing it without dropping the engine. Okay, I mean it's not a huge issue. You undo either the front engine mount bracket or the rear, and then you undo the two shocks here, and you'll pull the body away from the engine a little bit, and it'll probably lean off to the side, or I'll put it up against the wall, and then you'll get to the head and you'll have to kind of do it all in there at that stage. I think you're going to have to flush the coolant, which is a bit of a pain but not the end of the world, because we're going to have to turn the engine over to top dead centre from here, in hope that the marks are in there actually. I mean, I don't know, I can't think. Yeah, so there's a lot of what ifs, but also it's very doable, you know, and it needs to be done. My guess is this will run 10 times better if the valves are out of sorts and need the adjustment. My guess is that the cam has worn down a touch, which means that that they're kind of off by probably way more than they should be. So that's my guess. All right, update on the zontes. So it's been advertised for a week now. It's not sold. I've had some interest. I've had one viewing, and they were fine, but they actually come to see the DNA. It was the same guy who comes to the DNA. I'm actually catching him tomorrow. And I said to him, just take this out and try the gears, just out of curiosity, because it's £900, it's cheaper, and it's definitely reliable. And then there's a guy who lives quite far, which is a bit... It's not ideal. I really don't want to do a 3-hour... it's longer actually. It'll be a 4-hour round trip to deliver, and at the moment I'm in that stage where I'm trying to convince him basically he has to pay up front for the delivery, but I also make it really clear to them that if I turn up and the bike is as advertised but they just change their minds, that they lose that delivery fee, £100. But on the other hand, there's dealers out there that are taking £300 deposit, and you know they do mess you around. So I'm very honest with it, but I'm just not paying for a delivery. I want people to come and view the bike. I think people need to jump on a train, no matter how far they are. I live near King's Cross, St Pancras, Euston. Come down, look at the bike, and then we can talk delivery. You know, you've got to get off your arse sometimes. But if you're not willing to do that, you have to be willing to simply pay a deposit, and hope that it's as you want it to be when it gets there. And it's fine if it's not. You lose £100 maximum. But yeah, one thing I did remember is that there's a Speedo cable issue on here, and I keep forgetting to order one, but I do have some spares kicking about, so I'm going to pull this out and just see if I happen to have a cable that will fit.